Hello there internet, and welcome to a game called Fallen Heroes Rebirth. It's a indie text-based adventure type game made by Hosted Games. Well, I'm not really sure. Well, the name is by Merlin Raiden. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, but I'll try and do my best. Kind of an interesting thing where decisions made difference in the story. I had a very little interest in those type of games, but since this is a text base, it's more just reading it out loud. But yeah, become the greatest telepathic villain Los Diablos has ever known. Once you are famous, soon you will be infamous. That is, unless your old friends in the Rangers stop you first. Juggle different identities and preserve your secrets as you build new alliances and try to forget the friendships you left behind. Well then, Fallen Hero Rebirth is a 380,000 words interactive novel by Merlin Raiden, where your choices control the story. It's entirely text-based without graphics or sound effects, and fueled by the vast, unstoppable power of your imagination. On your telepathic talents possesses people and venture into their minds. Build your own personalized combat armor. Be a terrifying, super strong behemoth, a mysterious speedster, or anything in between. Make alliance or enemies in the Lost Diablos. I think Diablos Underworld. While you outfight and outthink the heroes set against you. Explore relationships, straight, gay, bisexual, or aromantic. Romance mad scientist, your former partner, or both. Juggle 2 bodies and 3 identities. Play as a male, female, or genderqueer. Above all, make sure your past never catches up with you. How far will you fall down the path of villainy? I'm trying a demo version just to see how interesting it is, so let's get into it. Welcome to Fallen Hero Rebirth. If you are here because you clicked a button that said something like play now for free trial, or play first 2 chapters for free. Yes, I'm those type of people. It varies depending on platforms. What you have in front of you is exactly that, an incomplete game. What? This is the beginning of the story. Enough for you to make up your mind whether you want to pay for the complete version or not. I might buy it anyway. The free version consists of 75,000 words including codes, averaging 20,000 words in a playthrough. The full version consists of 385,200 words including code, averaging 73,200 words in a playthrough. Right, okay, you'll get an option to purchase the full version once you reach the point in the game. If not, thanks for trying this out. This game contains options to control the gender of the 2 main romantic options. Rose for short. Okay, you can either choose this as you encounter the character in questions, present both of them into a set gender, or randomize their genders. Okay. There are also various achievements which can either be presented as they are earned or hidden until epilogue of the game, unless you play on Steam, which does it as it please. Select the gender option. We shall be. I want to select the gender option. Each row separately when I first encounter them. Achievement I want to keep since. I guess I go with that, and I want to select gender of each arrow separately, I guess. I don't know, let's go with it. Los Diablos. I think that's how you pronounce it. Whoever chose to rename Los Angeles after the big one in 1980 was not far off. The quakes had ripped the entire West Coast infrastructure to shreds, destroying most of the historic districts. San Andreas fault had just finished rippling when the Cascadia subduction zone was triggered, and the entire coastline heaved like a shaken rug, sending tsunamis racing up and down the coast. Whoa. Sorry if I'm not really pronouncing that stuff right. I'm not really good at speaking things out loud. It's normally in my head. But I'm trying to do these types just to improve on it and see how enjoyable it is. So yeah, let your imaginations go raw. And sorry if I scrub in between the sentence. The seismic upheaval awoke the slumbering Mehmet Lake system, one of the containment's two dormant supervolcanoes. Luckily, if such a word would be used for a disaster of that magnitude, the lava chamber under the dormant volcano had not filled completely, and eruption was less disastrous, I guess, than it could have been. The quakes had not destroyed the resulting tsunamis drowned, and when ash had finally stopped falling, someone had looked at the ruins of Los Angeles and decided that this was no longer a place to fit for angels. Is it Los Angeles? I don't know. It feels like I'm saying it wrong. Thus Los Diablos was born. Los. Yeah. At first the government had tried to rebuild the ravaged coastline, but aftershocks and crashed economy forced the politicians to focus on salvaging the heartland and the east. The Midwest had been heavily affected by the falling and resulting food rationing made riots in an everyday experience. As years passed, reclamation stalled. In 1992, the West Coast was finally declared a free economic zone in an attempt to incite the private industry to do what the government could not. No taxes, no regulations, no federal government. To everybody's surprise, it worked. Like the Wild West of old. The ravaged coastline attracted the adventurers and the foolhardy, I don't know. Enough people wanted to live their lives without being held down by the heavy hand of the big government, so that the wave of refugees turned into a trickle of immigrants. Enough companies wanted to play their trade without rules and regulations for money to flow in as well. The roads began to be repaired and the cities cleared of rubble. And right from the start, Los Diablos proved to be haven for the enhanced. I want to learn more about the enhanced. I already know. Take me to the action. No, I want to learn more. Let's see, what is this? The so-called hero drug had first seen the light in 70s. Sorry about that. My skin. Yeah. Well, can't really do much. You've seen it. It's Malwarebytes. Yep, I use Malwarebytes. Protection. Okay, an unforeseen side effect of an attempt to create a perfect diet pill. Corners had been cut and safety trials skipped, so the pill hit the market as dietary supplement instead of strictly controlled drug. None was shocked that there were side effects, but natural of those side effects was a different story. Many people died, but in some, the metabolic changes result in weird and wondrous transformation. The rumors became reality when a woman who could light fires with her mind demonstrated her talent on live television. The active compound was analyzed analyzed, purified, and modified until you had a drug strong enough to kill most people. But the few survivors became far more than there had been. The drug was banned, of course, declared an illegal narcotics. Narcotics. In 1976, how many people could consider injecting something that had a roughly 95% chance of killing you or turning you into a cripple for life? The answer was surprisingly many. There were the dreamers and the desperate, the thrill seekers, the greedy, and the plain insane. Price went through the roof. The industries went underground, and when it resurfaced, it was in the reclaimed ruins of the West. The world had to relearn what it meant to be human. It had to adjust to masked heroes and villains battling it out in colorful costumes. Yes, colorful costumes indeed, with bombastic names. At first, the mask had been a way to preserve anonymity. I guess the bank robber's mask turned into a villain's horn helmet. Soon, the mask had begun to represent something else, a new life, a new destiny. It was a new America, and it deserved new heroes. America! Okay, the government tried to stem the tide, but it was too late. Putting the cat back in the box is harder than letting it out. And in the end, they just had to accept the new state of affair. The drugs were undeniably lethal, but the military had been making enhanced humans since Vietnam. And as the research companies moved west in the 90s, the lack of regulations led to new discoveries. Progress that admittedly was built on human suffering, but nobody could make an omelette without cracking a few eggs, right? Cybernetics has been used by the military since the 50s, but now they became compact and better integrated with biology. Armored suits grew slicker and less prone to breakdowns. Washington made the decision that through the West was normally considered a free territory. The government had to have some presence there to deal with increasingly violent enhanced. Thus, in 1997, the Marshall system was appointed by the president himself. The marshals were given the powers of judge and jury and sent into the West to create some semblance of order. Some were victims of the hero drug, quickly nicknamed boosts by the general populace. I don't know. Others were rebuilt by government or private contractors into cybernetic enhancers armed with military hardware. They were heavily modified humans. Their names soon shortened to mods in the headlines of the East. Now the public had heroes as well as villains, and the country turned from grieving its dead to looking towards a future dragged from the comic books of the past. America was hiding under the blanket, reading comics with a flashlight, trying to forget the terrors of the world outside. And it worked. Nothing is more precious than a dream. And this was and this was one that could resonate with enough people so that the trickle of immigrants moving west turned into a flood. New cities grew on the corpse of the old ones. And though the quakes persisted, people learned to live with them. They learned to live with the danger because there was always the thrill as well. The thrill of living in a brand new age, where men and women flew like birds and called down rain from the clouds to end the incessant droughts. People had a dream, and like a fool, you shared that dream. But that was then, and this is now. The tackle is brutal enough to tear the air from your lungs as it catapults you across the street. Wow, okay. You just about managed to bite back the curse on your lips. Okay, when you curse, your expletive of choice is usually Dan, hell, crap, Christ, something else. Don. Dan. Don. Hell. Crap. Christ. Hell. Don. Is it Don? I don't know. I'll call it Don from now on. It's probably mispronouncing it. Don. That hurts more than you thought it would. The safety glass of the store window breaks with a sharp crack as you smack into it. Shards surround you like a crystal snowstorm as you are sent flying into the bridal store. Alarms bare to life as mannequins topple like bowling pins around you. Mannequins. They're dismembered plastic torsos clad in extravagant dresses, flouncing like butterflies with their legs torn off. An all too familiar sight. Remembered bodies, real this time, broken on the ground, broken by the fall, as you are about to break. Or is this now? Was that then? The memories Trethen? Trethen. Why can I not? Threat. Wow, I never said this word for a while. Immediate threat. Give me a sec. I need to do this something. Threaten? What's a huge threat? Threaten. Oh, good. Okay, back. Forget what I just said. I don't know. I'll just go threaten. Threaten to overwhelm you, and for a moment you are not usually exactly where or who you are. What do? Take a moment to catch my breath and make sure nothing is broken. Yep, let's go with that. So very different. Hard skin, tough muscles, so very different from what you are used to. Could this body even break? Will you find out? Hopefully not. The important thing is staying in control. You have not spent the last 2 years preparing yourself for this just to blow it up. Blow it all by letting your past mistakes get the better of you. This is far too important to allow even the possibility of failure. At least you haven't lost your grip on the small black box you stole just a minute ago. Priorities. Right now that should be getting to your feet and getting out of here. Up. Good. You are still in one piece. Unfortunately, so is Helda. Harold? Okay, I'll call you Harold. You catch a flash of his indigo suit as he flies through the already broken window. He tackles you straight through the back of the store, further into the mall. Darn, not again. I focus on protecting the box with my body. I try to keep myself safe. I gotta keep myself safe. If you get knocked out, it won't matter whether you lose the box or not. As long as you're still standing, you can take it back. Twisting in the air, you manage to brace yourself the last minute hitting the wall with your shoulder in a tackle of your own. Oh, but it still hurts like hell. Darn. You had no idea how much it would actually hurt to be tackled through a wall. They made it look so easy on television. Wooden beams splintering like cheap movie props. The truth is far different. First, the initial impact slams the air from your lungs, something not even your near impervious skin protects you from. Then, for the briefest of moment, your body is a battleground between the momentum you have built up and the structural integrity of the wall itself. Compressed flesh, bone-deep bruises blossoming under tough silver skin, and then the metal support beams and the pulverized concrete turned into a cloud of dust. The dust clings briefly to you before you smack into another wall and collapse there. Velocity depleted. You never really knew, did you? After all, this is not even your body, unfortunately. You always thought Lady Argent was invincible. A silver body shedding bullets like rain. Slender muscles still strong enough to punch through walls. You saw her fight on illegal video feeds and official sanction propaganda. Always cocky, always direct, always with a predatory smile on her face. She was the perfect woman of silvery steel, and none of you ever caught a hint of how much it actually hurts doing the things she did. Not until now. When you are hiding inside her skin, when you feel every single bruise, do you realize that this was what she always hid from the cameras? Her invulnerability came at a price. She could still feel everything because you certainly can now. The pale blue skin suit glued to a form protects and supports, but does little to dampen. You can feel broken masonry digging into your back. I don't know what's that word. I mispronounce it. My bad. And you have to get up. You have to get up now before you lose control of her. My will is strong enough to control her. I will not allow myself to fail. I'm clever than she. I run her body, but trapped her mind. Okay. Only takes a moment to focus inward, crushing her emerging consciousness. Under the avalanche of your own thoughts and desires. You don't need her mind to be conscious, just her body. So you wrap your thoughts around her reptile brain of speed and strength and leap to your feet. She is not like a normal puppet. You don't dare to let her mind get even close to waking. You've caught a bull by the horns. Now you just have to keep control of it. Easier said than done. You can't tap into her memories or her true skills. And so you are left a stumbling marionette? A burglar hijacking the brain of one of the most powerful women on the West Coast. It's true that you were a good hand-to-hand fighter back when you played the hero game, but never like her. You wish things would have been very difficult. different, not difficult. Things would have been very different. What's wrong with me? When you were on the side of the angels, you didn't use your telepathic powers to possess people. Instead, you read surface thoughts and mapped intentions. You knew when somebody would take a shot, and you would just choose to be elsewhere. If someone thought about punching you, you made sure to dodge. You wove illusions and distractions to keep up with the best. You used guns and technological toys, everything you could, to hide the fact that you were physically just a normal, well-trained human. You always had to have a backup plan. You don't have one now. It takes every ounce of your power and skill to keep her mind in check, to piggyback her nightmares, to keep her unaware that this is really happening, that she really is fighting a fellow ranger, or rather, that you are. Everything had gone so perfectly right up until Harold showed up. Lady Argent was one of the rangers, so she had clearance to remove things from their vault. And with the fake replacement in place, nobody would know that anything had been stolen unless they specifically looked in the particular container. And then Harold had spotted her on the way out, and you panicked, hit him, and made a run for it. Not your best moments. 5 blocks later, here you are. What has gotten into you, Argent? Harold asks. As you wobble unsteadily, he sounds worried. He should be. I smile threateningly. He should be afraid of me. I try for my best Argent impression. I just punched the asshole. If I'm a villain, I'm going to be a villain, or am I a hero? I don't know. I'll try for my best Argent impersonation. Next. You almost smile at how close he gets to the truth because something has gotten into her. In fact, you. Are you okay? His voice is tinged with worry as he glides closer, feet just inches from the ground. I'm not. Please, you mumble through Lady Argent's uncooperative lips. It's enough of a struggle to control her actions and fine motor skills like speech normally requires you to let the puppet hover close to wakefulness so you can access their memories and speech patterns. This is something you don't dare to do with her because you have a feeling that giving her an inch might mean losing her altogether. Hurting Harold's feeling is just simply not worth it. Too bad, because Harold really needs to be taken down a peg. You never liked him, and his tourist-led blonde hair and picture-perfect smile, always ready for the camera. You never liked him, and you had dismissed him as unsuitable for possessions for that reason. Okay? Because the sad truth is that as a telepath, emotions influence you far too readily. I don't know. Lady Argent was better choice by far. Now, how best to make him pay? I lure him close and wait for an opening. I rush him and try to take him out fast. I let him attack and wait for an opening. I lure him in. Please, Argent. I'm sorry. Is that what you want to hear? Yeah. Sorry. we can talk about this. Harold hovers a few inches above the rubble, trying to reason with a woman who is no longer there. You wonder what exactly he thinks he has done to make her mad enough to do this. Trouble in paradise? You almost feel bad for the poor sap as you fraying, weakness and confusion, stumbling to your knees in the rubble. He's on the ground and at your side a moment later. It's no secret that he and Lady Argent are lovers, and for a moment worry overwhelms caution. He doesn't even guess when your punch hits him squarely in the ground. He just wheezes a little and falls over, curled up in a ball of unimaginable pain. Now that is a satisfying sight if you ever saw one. Oh, if only you dared to spare the focus to say something clever. But she is strong, and her subconscious is fighting you. So you need to break this off fast. You're not here to fight after all. The box is safe and whole. And that is the important part. Well then, I'll stop here for now. I'll continue reading on in the next episode. Thank you for watching this video. Like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.